Mr. Josh, since there's only two of us, how was your week?
Yeah. Well, finished Steven Universe, the main series, and watched the movie.
This is the world.
What the hell?
This is the world.
What the fuck?
This is the world we
This is
live
the world,
in.
yeah. Okay, I don't know why I can't fucking shut that fuck up.
Yeah, you were doing what now? Before that happened?
Yeah, I don't know how... Okay.
We're not sponsored by whatever
Yeah.
that was, everybody. I don't... Just so you guys know, we don't have ad rolls.
We can just...
Which is
we can
slightly relevant.
It's still early, we can cut it in post.
Yeah, true. Or we could leave it in for a meme.
Eh.
But anyways, so you were doing what now? You were
Okay.
watching...
All right.
At first I thought you were going to say you were walking.
No.
And then you said you were watching.
So I watched all of the original Steven Universe series, 5 seasons. So that's completed. Then I watched the movie, and now I'm starting the final one, which is Steven Universe Future.
Nice.
Not too far in it. I'll probably finish it next weekend, the way my schedule's been. Did get to play some more Deadly Premonition 2.
Okay.
I have to admit, the game is kind of not... It's hard for me to keep going back to it. I guess just the way the pacing is. I'm at a part where I literally can't really progress until I wait for a certain day to be able to buy something.
I hate that. That kind of pissed me off. And that's one of the several progression blockers that'll happen.
Yeah.
Now, the easiest way for that, did you get around that, or is that where you're still stuck?
I'm still doing that because
I just smoke cigarettes until it's the right time.
Jeez.
And if you do that, you'll do
just
it in like
smoking
30
for
minutes.
days.
Well, it's not like it matters because there's no health
Yeah.
effects literally at all.
Yeah, no, I'm just finding the thought hilarious of
Yeah.
smoking for days.
Yes, realism in video games.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a bit annoying. Pretty much what I've been doing is stupid side quests, like where you have to shoot the animals for the sheriff, which I have to say, those are very kind of awkward quests, but whatever.
Japan.
Yeah.
Japanese games are literally just weird.
Yeah. The stupid fleur-de-lis. I've already gotten 2 albums. I'm kind of just getting annoyed and just, like, looking up, like, okay, where the fuck are these things?
Yeah, I feel like you're going to ruin the game more if you do all the side quests. Because I didn't
Yeah.
even bother. You should just progress, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the story is honestly what's worth it in this game, not so much the gameplay like in the first one. I feel like I
I'm
could
just
justify
really
the gameplay.
curious as to what those beads are.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could do the beads. I didn't even bother, but
Yeah.
I would like to know, so if you end up doing them...
Yeah, because you have to do the fleur-de-lis for one of them.
Oh,
Pretty
I
sure.
see. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, because I think one of the hints was the cemetery guy. So, yeah, that one, because there's a few where I did end up having to look it up because I just couldn't figure it
There's
out.
going to be main quests where you're going to have to look it up.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think there already was for you, but, like, there's going to be much more. Because me, it was only... I'm very... Like, you have to have a gun to my head, basically, for me to use a guide. I'm not so easily broken. Like, I will spend years on a game, stuck in one room, because I'm just like, I'm not a bitch. I'm not a bitch. I'm going to fucking beat this level. I don't care. However, if I do end up resorting to a guide, which does happen sometimes, it's because it's fucked. Like, it is really just... I can tell you when you get there because it is a bit of a spoiler, but you will see that in the one of the 2 times I had to use a guide for Deadly Premonition 2, it's one of those things where it's just like, you kind of have to. You kind of have to. So, yeah. But yeah, other than that, anything else?
Let's see. Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That case finally came in. That
Yeah,
I
you got a
ordered.
good pull, right? Or at least a few good pulls?
Yeah. Overall, it's a pretty good case. Split it with a friend, and then traded one of the tins for a Verte Anaconda, which was.
I'm assuming
like,
you made up your share of the thing with what you got, right?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, the card. I did end up pulling the Red Eyes Dragoon, which was the big card for that. That's like, last I checked, like $45 to $50.
Yeah, so, you know, that's half already, and I'm sure you feel that you got to have at least a few more cards, like $10 here maybe, or $10 there, and
a few.
You've almost made it up.
Like a couple that are like maybe $10.
That's the thing. I feel like buying boxes, tins, whatever, or like, you know, big sets like that, I feel like almost worth it sometimes, especially. Well, I guess unless you just have really terrible luck. But I always feel like, because what I've seen, for example, when I watch Max open up boxes, right? He almost always, and he doesn't have the best luck ever, like, he almost always, if you go by the individual value of the cards, and assuming that set is relevant, so that is very important, obviously. You can't buy an old set and then have the same concept that I'm about to say. But I almost feel like he makes up literally the cost of the box every single time. So I feel like that's, I mean, obviously you want to make a profit, you want to keep breaking even, but my whole thing is, if you can at least break even, it's almost a good gamble to get into buying those boxes and then selling, if you're into selling the cards individually, because again, from what I've seen, he almost always at least breaks even. If I knew I wouldn't be losing money and I would at least make up the money I spent on the box, I would almost want to do that just to make money, especially if you do the, you know, there was one box that he pulled and it was a $200 card, and the box was only like 80, so he's already made 120 on one card, and then he pulled several other $10, $20 cards. So my whole thing, I'm just kind of like, it almost seems like a good investment. I don't give a fuck about the card game. I'm just going to buy it to make money.
Yeah, sometimes. It really depends, because more often than not, you are going to neg. But I've had some moments where I have plussed. I once bought a box, this is still in Yu-Gi-Oh! I bought a box of, I think the set was called Dark Saviors. It was where Sky Strikers debuted. And I think for the box it was probably $80, somewhere around that range. And I ended up pulling the spell card Sky Striker Engage. That was the big one for that deck. At the time that was like $90 to $100. Even though I wanted to play the deck, because I just really love how the archetype, like how the aesthetically how it looks.
Right.
You know, I wasn't gonna spend $200 for 2 more copies, so I did end up selling that. One time on Black Friday, they GameStop had a buy one get one free sale on card games. So I bought. I ended up spending like a little over $40 for 8 boxes of the set was Soul Fusion. It was the special editions, so pretty much it almost comes in a box, almost like a starter or structure deck, but it comes with 3 boosters and 2 promo cards. And I did the math, and pretty much that would have equated to a box anyways.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, you definitely have to do your research. And it definitely depends on where the market is at the moment. Because like you've mentioned before, at least with Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know how common this is in Pokemon, so I am just going to stick to what you've told me in Yu-Gi-Oh! Our reprints, for example, that'll make a card's value plummet. Yeah, if it's a card that's very rare and hasn't been, you know, in circulation for forever, and then you, all of a sudden, you're kind of like, fucked now because you now have this card that you could have sold at the peak. To like, for like, you know, let's say $80, and now that it's been reprinted, it maybe drops to like 20 or whatever the rarity is now.
So far, the cards that I've named, and I'm about to name this one, this was during the initial printing. So with those special edition boxes, I pulled one card, Thunder Dragon Colossus. That was probably maybe 80 at the time. So yeah, I pretty much plussed there. I ended up trading that. I think it was at Heroes. So I didn't get the full value of it, but I got my hands on Infinite Impermanence, which was a trap card that was like $40 or $50 at the time. So that's fine for me.
Oh my god, it's a wind tornado blowing thing!
So that I hear weird whispering.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. That's Mallory. If you haven't figured that out. Yeah, Mallory is.
I'm here.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Sorry, my roommate is watching Burn Notice.
Oh.
So, and I just got home.
That's fine. You're good.
Okay.
Alrighty. But anything else, Josh? Before we just talk about cards for the rest of the day?
Yeah, no, this is the whole podcast. But yeah, well, so anyways, going back to the 10s, the card that I did pull, even though like it's the big money card, sadly, it is a card that is so powerful and so easily splashable into any deck. I'm probably not going to sell it.
Because you can utilize it.
Yeah, it's...
And then the only time it'll basically become worthless is when it's out of the meta, and it's worthless.
It's really hilarious because it's a fusion that you use, that you can use Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon to fuse with, and you do need a specialized fusion spell for it. But you only need those 3 cards, so you just put 1 copy in a deck, and then you use a Link monster, Verte Anaconda, the one that I traded a 10 for, because it has the ability that you can choose a fusion spell in your graveyard, and it will copy that effect, but you can't special summon at the end of the turn. So once you're done setting up your board, you just get that thing out. What the fuck?
You came out?
Huh?
I said there's a lot of wind action happening over there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I stepped outside.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. I was going to say, it sounded like you got taken away by a tornado.
Yeah.
But anyways.
No, because it's really loud inside, so I figured I'd step outside.
Okay, that might actually be a worse idea, because especially if that keeps happening, because that was really loud. Like, it's having pretty like, it was almost better when I could slightly hear the TV murmur in the background than when I can hear the wind. That.
Yeah.
Because it's really bad. The wind is actually much worse. TBH.
You got a wind guard or something?
Yeah. Sorry, Mal. I don't mean to keep making you move, but it's just, it would be the...
No, it's fine. I'm just trying to find the best spot to do this. It could also be my mic because it's super sensitive right now.
Oh, yeah, it could be because it's definitely louder than normal, which is, you're fine now because I've lowered the volume, but it was like, yeah, it was loud. That was
okay.
But you're good. Okay.
So I just got a new mic headset,
Nice.
so
Good.
it's...
Sounds great.
I'm trying to work out the bugs.
Yeah, no, but it sounds great. Anything else, Josh?
Nice. I'm getting, like, losing my train of thought with that shit that went on, so I'll just end there.
Alrighty, Miss Mallory, what have you been up to? You got a new headset, obviously.
Yeah.
Because you just said that.
Yeah, I got a new headset, so I'm trying it out, to figure out, like, just everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's dual. It's not just one side now, so that's great. It's got dual earbud, like it's an actual headset now.
Right, it's not one of those budget ones.
Huh?
It's not one of those budget ones with just one ear.
Yeah, which was really bugging me with my glasses because, you know, it just, like, compresses one side of my glasses into my face.
Right.
And makes me mad.
Understandable.
So, I have a new headset, and I don't know how sensitive the mic is. So I'm still having to work that out, like how close to my face I need to have it and stuff like that.
From what I'm experiencing, not too close. It sounds fine now, but yeah, no, it's very sensitive. Which is great. So, no need to eat the mic.
Let's see. What else have I been up to? I spent the weekend at my sister's house playing Munchkins, which is
Wasn't that one of the games
a card game.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Really fun.
Yeah, Josh and I played that card game a while back, and our cheater friend Mario decided to just fucking make up rules until he won, like he does every board game. He has... Dude, this guy, alright, he has, like, months, weeks, days, doesn't matter, to prepare to play a board game, and every single time we did, and I only did it like 2 or 3 times because I was done with that, every single time we did, it was just the most bullshit thing. I think it was Munchkins even, where I was gonna win, and then he decided, oh wait, there's this rule, so I gotta draw one more card. And I go, or whatever the fuck you gotta do. You got an extra turn or some shit. And I said, nope, that's it. The game's done now because you just made that shit up. Not really, but if you said that ahead of time, I could have planned on it. So anyways, that was the asterisk. I still got the win there, but they obviously had an asterisk next to it because bullshit. But yeah, Munchkins, good game when it's played properly.
It is. It's a great game as long as you make the determination you're not going to be friends after, like, during the game.
It's an
awesome game. I've played it multiple times since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love it. I have the Adventure Time version of the game, which you're supposed to be able to, you know, put all the cards together. You just have to figure out the right way.
Hey, Mel.
But we decided to do this last night with 3 of our good friends and my sister and her husband. And so, I mean, we had to watch, like, a video on how to play this game, because the rules are amazing, but they can be interpreted different ways.
Yeah, you can.
So we were playing that, and we're actually going to start playing Amongst Us on Steam. Apparently, it's like $5 or $6.
Oh, not those Among Us. It's Amongst Us. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever heard of that game, which is weird considering I know about every fucking game basically. That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear about it until yesterday, and apparently it's like Clue.
Clue's cool.
I mean, I'm not sure what it's about. I'm going to check it out later.
Well, Mal, real
after
quick.
This.
Can you pull the mic back just a bit, because now the volume's fine, but it's still it's very obviously close. Like, it's very tinny.
Is that better?
That's good. That's good. Yeah. It just sounded like you were screaming.
That's good?
Yeah, that whole section's going to sound like you're yelling, but it's good now.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just didn't want to like keep interrupting you, so I was just like, I'll just let it ride. Cool. So you've been doing stuff. What? Anything else you've done?
I've been playing Torchlight.
Good.
We need to play together because I am not high enough level to go into this one area, and it's frustrating me because I'm like level 23 or 26.
Oh, okay.
And you have to be level 30 to enter it, but I'm not sure what else to do besides just like enter it and be like, I'm gonna die a bunch of times and lose all my gold.
Yeah, the main thing is, unfortunately, since it doesn't have cloud saves, I have to start over again. So I did start playing a little bit today, but I'm only like level 5, so I need to get up there real quick. So what I'd say is I would grind out another character for now while I get caught up, just so you don't keep progressively leaving me if you're 40 and then I become 20. Just because it'll be easier for me to get to 23 than it'll be to get to cap if you end up doing that somehow. So, well, if you're stuck there, you're not going to get to cap. But my point being is, give me a sec to catch up, but I will. I've been playing it too, so we'll do that though. Torchlight is pretty fun. So, anything else?
Because I do enjoy the game. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend it to anybody who's looking for a different Diablo game.
Yeah.
And plus, I have a pet that's a unicorn, and his name is Pete, and he just like follows me around, and he's awesome.
There's some pretty cool pets in that game.
Yeah, they have it's a really cute game
It is.
for a dungeon crawler. I'm really enjoying it. What else have I been doing? I've been playing all the old Marios, and I just played the Kirby Clash game, which is like an online quest game for Kirby.
Oh right, yeah,
which has been interesting. Did not expect that. So you fight as a team of 4, unless you're multiplayer. But you fight as a team of 4, and you have your mage, your bard, all of that. And you just fight different quests in Kirby Land, and I think it's really fun. I spend hours doing this, so
good.
I mean, that's cool.
Yep.
I recently learned about how Kirby came to be, which was interesting. I didn't know the story behind Kirby.
I didn't either, because the game I played...
Because I watched...
Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
You watched what?
I watched High Score on Netflix, which is more of the development of games.
Right.
But, yeah, no, apparently Kirby was just a lawyer, and I thought that was a cool tribute to him, because he helped Nintendo win a lawsuit. And I thought it was really cool that they made an actual, series out of that.
Oh,
so,
I didn't know that.
But yeah,
cool.
and that's about it, besides watching Downton Abbey like an 80-year-old woman.
Yeah,
which is really good, by the way. Don't know if y'all are interested in Downton Abbey.
I watch a lot of British stuff, but not that. Not that. That's good. What was I going to say? I didn't know about Kirby's origin in that sense. I thought you meant Kirby's origin in the lore. Which is not very clear, so I was going to say, did they ever really explain that? Because even in the beginning of Kirby Dream Land, I like how it's just how to draw him is technically how he's made. It's you do a circle, then you do this and this and this, and then he goes, and then he's in the game. But anyways,
he's like one of the most OP Nintendo characters, I think.
He's pretty great.
Yeah,
because he could just literally steal anyone's power.
Yeah. I mean, I would highly recommend watching High Score if you want to know about the development of games and how it got to this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good show. I didn't really expect anything, because I don't. But yeah, finding out about my favorite video games was definitely definitely gave me the draw to play more games.
Right.
Especially when you hear about the stories behind them.
And I can tell it worked because you've
I learned
probably
about
played
Doom.
more games this past week than you have in like the past month. So obviously,
Yeah,
it really
I've also had the time to do that. So
fair enough.
that was the other side. Is I've actually had time to do these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, time's a bitch like that. You never have enough of it. Let's see. On my end, more wrestling. A few updates for the wrestling people. If you didn't understand what Josh was saying earlier, you might understand this stuff if you watch wrestling. And then, of course, you also could not. It could sound exactly like that, where I had no idea what was happening. So, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Because if you play Yu-Gi-Oh!, John will understand that. John will understand exactly what was being said earlier. But yeah, Brock Lesnar, no longer under contract with WWE. Not really that surprising, because when contracts expire, people shop around. There was an interesting interview with Kurt Angle where people were just like, is he going to go to AEW? Because it just seems to be the natural thing. You leave WWE, go to AEW. Mm-hmm. New Japan and Ring of Honor and Impact, formerly TNA, just don't seem to be the ones that people go to as much anymore. People will go to New Japan, but there also is that language barrier, having to live overseas, stuff like that, so it's not for everybody. Brock did it for a while, so, But I think he saw that as a stepping stone, so I don't think he's ever going to go back to New Japan. But yeah, Kurt was basically like, we'll see. Jim Cornette had a very good point, is that AEW, because, they're still a smaller company, as popular as they are, their primetime show, Dynamite, puts up as much views as NXT, which is WWE's least viewed show. So when your premier flagship show is as strong as the weakest show of the competitor, bit of a problem in terms of competing. Harder to break that barrier. Why would Brock want to go back to high school when he's already graduated from college? So it's one of those things where Jim has a very good point where A, it doesn't seem very likely because it'd be like a step down for Brock Lesnar. But then B, if they sign Brock, it would be more than their entire roster, every single wrestler signed to AEW right now, times 100 to pay Brock Lesnar what he would ask for compared to his WWE contract, because he'd have to ask for more or else he would just go back to WWE. So a lot of people think he's just going to go back to WWE. It's just that he's going to wait first until he gets that offer.
Right.
He's going to see what AEW offers, and if it's anything even slightly above what he's getting paid now, he'll go back to Vince and say, hey, before I sign, what do you think? And Vince will match whatever, because he's not going to give up. He loves Brock Lesnar, so he's not going to give up Brock to AEW, of all things. So, we'll see. That's going on. This is a spoiler. It's a week-to-week show. You should keep up if you're going to, there's not really spoilers past the Hulu 24-hour period. That's the only spoiler territory, because I don't get to watch it until delay, because fuck cable. I don't want to buy cable. I've been tempted to watch it live now, but also not worth it. I was looking at stuff, even stuff like, not even that, but I'm talking about like Fubo TV and stuff like that or whatever. But even those are still like $50 a month, and I'm just like, nah, don't care that much.
Yeah.
But anyways, for those who watched recently, Jey Uso is going to be the number one contender now against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, which is terrible. Which is just terrible. He's been gone for a while, and then now he's back, and then they just get his forced push. He beat Sheamus, and two other people, I don't even remember because I was just so pissed with the match, in a fatal four-way to become the number one contender, and it was so cringy. Big E they took out for some reason, because what happened is Big E was supposed to be getting his big push. It was all people that was getting big push. It was Matt Riddle, Big E, Sheamus, and then one other, Randy Orton or some shit. And I was just like, oh god. And of course, what's Uso doing? The current gimmick? Welcome to the... And he didn't even finish it. It's supposed to be welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. He's like breathing out of control during the post-interview. And it's just like, who's cuz we're going to see you, or I'm going to see you at a payback. And, we're going to say welcome to the, the rest. And he's like, yeah! And I was just like, what? What have I just watched for the first time in years? I have no idea what the Uso Penitentiary is if I just turned it on for the first time in years.
You know the rest.
It's like, I was just like, what? I was like, what the fuck? And then, no, he still has no mic skills. He's still, yo, sup. And I'm just like, stop talking. That's how you actually talk, I guess, but it sounds so forced. Yeah. I feel like the Usos don't really talk like that. Maybe they do, but it just doesn't seem believable. It just seems like a gimmicky, like when the Wigger goes into the what's up, homie? What's up, homie? Like in the classroom, you know what I mean? Everyone knew that Wigger growing up, so it's one of those things where it's just, it's that guy, I feel like. It's just like, you don't really talk like that. Or it's like the Ashley that plays it up, Like, oh my god. Maybe she really talks like that, but I knew people who, like, really hammed that up because it was their persona in high school. I feel like that's Jey Uso. So, we'll see. I don't know what Jimmy, I guess Jimmy's dead. I don't know. For some reason, he's gone. I did laugh, though, because Roman is doing some weird heel, not heel thing, but he was just like, when he was talking to Jey, because Jey was just like, hey, thanks for giving me this number one opportunity before the match, like, because he hadn't won yet, even though I didn't think he was going to win and I got sad. But, anyways, he was just like, thanks, and he goes, don't thank me, it was Paul Heyman. And then, of course, Jey hates Paul Heyman and thinks that Paul Heyman's using Roman or whatever. And, which I find that angle kind of interesting. I am interested to see where they go with Paul and Roman. Is it going to go nowhere, or will it go somewhere interesting? Who knows?
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, so then Jay's like, well, like, oh, whatever, man, I don't care about Paul. And then Roman said the thing that cracked me up, which was just like, maybe try to win yourself your own championship for once. Because he hasn't held any title but the tag team. So it was just funny to hear Roman just call him out and be like, how about you try to win an actual title just for you? Without someone else, basically.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of interesting to hear Roman say that. He did it again in a very, like, the kind of, like, pep talk, your brother, your cousin, or your dad kind of shit-talking you, but not like berating you, being like, you little shit who's never accomplished anything in your life. He was just like, go ahead. Try to come at me, you know what I mean? Win that match, and then we'll see what happens at Payback. So that's kind of that. But that's going to be a terrible match.
Right.
I can already tell you right now. Now, what they could be doing is they could be furthering the Roman Reigns heel turn and just have him fucking wreck Jey at Payback and just like, everyone, of course, the crowd's going to be booing and Jay's going to be getting all fucked up in the ring and everything. I think that's what they could be going for, where like even blood doesn't fucking matter to, Roman anymore. I see that they could go there, I think, because other than that, if they really think they can turn Jay's limited arsenal and Roman into a good match, they're out of their fucking minds. Like, I don't think that's going to be a good fucking match. Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns just doesn't sound like...
I feel like it would be a slaughter.
Yeah, it should be anyways. If they do some bullshit push where Jey overpowers Roman, that's going to look ridiculous as well. So, I don't know. We'll see. I don't really trust WWE Creative, but let's see what they got in store, because I don't have a choice. But we'll see. I would have really rather seen Big E get his push, because that's really what they were building up to. That's why I'm curious if something happened, because it's like, they were doing all this stuff to make Big E progress. He'd been beating Sheamus a lot, and then all of a sudden, Sheamus like ambushed him, and then he's like out of the Fatal 4-Way. And I'm just like, that's really weird because you were setting up Big E big. And now you guys backed up. There's rumors that Sasha Banks is going to retire because Bayley just really fucked her up. So they do that a lot when they're going to take people off screen for a while. So we'll see what they announce. Bayley really just fucked up Sasha like real bad. Even put a chair, like this part around her. I'm pointing for the podcast, but just to show Josh. Put like her neck in like the part, and then like fucking stepped on it and shit. And like got her really good. It was a very convincing beat down by Bayley, who still has the Karen haircut because she's still a heel. But yeah, rumors have it that Sasha's probably going to retire. So we'll see if that goes anywhere, or at least a break at this point, because that's usually what they do when they fucked her up that bad. That's usually gonna take a long break at least to get you off the air. So we'll see. And other than that, I only really played Short Hike and Torchlight. Torchlight for very little bit, Short Hike just to get a little bit more progress. Very, very cute game. I still really suggest it for like right under $9. Good game, adventure game on Switch. So there's that. All right, Mr. Josh, where can everybody find you on the internet?
Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, @Yoshiro Joestar, YouTube, ShiroPlay5.
Miss Mallory?
You can find me on Instagram at awesome_Maui.
You can find my stuff at ZDRock at all the places, SlimAsianEntertainment.com, as well as DisconnectedCast.com. All right, recently EA patched in ads into UFC 4. Now, I know what you're thinking already. People are wearing Jimmy John shorts. There's Monster Energy banners in the background. It's a ton of ads already. They literally put it where, like, in between loading, like, so say it'll show like a crazy takedown, right? And then, like, obviously they'll do the replay. Mm-hmm. In between the replay and before you go back to live gameplay, it'll just have a marquee appear on the full screen, Amazon Originals, The Boys, and then go away. Like, just awful shit like that. Hulu, check out your favorite shows. Like, and it happened so fucking much that people got, like, obviously pissed.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, and then of course EA was just like, whoa, we didn't know people weren't going to like that, and patched it out immediately. They did what they called an emergency patch. But it was just like, another one of those patching in something, what the fuck.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it didn't even come out with it, it was patched in, so it's just one of those things that are just like, it's really scary. Jim and many other game critics, but the reason I bring up Jim Sterling is because I remember him specifically saying this, is that we are now entering the era, they've always done this, but it's happening so frequently now, where we're entering the era where they really are going to try to see how much they can get away with. $80 games, everybody! Alright? No, okay. Maybe $70 games. Okay, no one really flinched at 70. Alright, cool, we'll do $70 games. We're in that era where they're just beta testing everything now. How about live ads in the middle of your game? No? Okay, now, we'll take it, calm down. How about, slandering Black Lives Matter? Oh, no, okay. Alright, we tried, guys, we tried. We're in that thing where they're just, like, trying to just, every type of bait that they got on their fish hook, they're just throwing everything in now. And it's really scary because we've already seen how far microtransactions and DLC have gotten because we've accepted it to this point as a society, as a community. Mm-hmm. They're just trying to take the whole cake now. It's already bad enough they sell us games incomplete. It's really bad now that they're just trying to see how little they can give us, making us pay for next-gen upgrades. Dumb shit like that, like, for games you already own. Like, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, so that's what happened with them. The thing that's interesting is, I shared that graphic with you guys in the Discord, about the whole PlayStation actual patent that they submitted for a potential idea. Obviously, that never came to fruition. But that really is something that Sony went ahead to try to grab, just in case that was going to be the future of video games. For what the graphic is, obviously for the audio listeners, because there's no video, it shows someone in front of their TV, they're playing a game, all of a sudden an ad comes up, and it's like, to make the ad go away, stand up and say McDonald's, boom, and you stand up and do that, and then you can go back to playing your game. That's pretty much what EA did in the thing. So I was going to send that graphic originally as a joke, and then the story with EA came up, and I'm just like, this is scary. This thing that Sony saw and said, fuck that, Sony, an awful company, but, there's a lot shittier ones out there. EA saw it and was just like, it's almost like EA tried to take that idea, except there was no way to, it was so fast. And that's the thing, too. It just flashes. Like, it comes up, boom, go away. Almost like subliminal messaging. Yeah. It's really weird. Like, check out Amazon Prime Originals, The Boys. And it's just gone, like, whoop, 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 just enough for you to read it, and then it goes away. It's really very malicious seeming. I guess it is malicious, right? I mean, in what world would that be could there be good of that? I guess for me to say seemingly malicious, I think it is malicious. Yeah. It's just greed. They were obviously getting some sort of kick from those shows or something to put it in there. Because Lord knows EA's not going to give people free advertising. So they must have had something where Amazon and Hulu or whoever was just like, every time you show that on your little game, have a little counter, and then send us that sheet and we'll send you some money. Yeah. That had to have been it, but...
It's really stupid, like... Even on older games, like, it's been a bit cringy. Yeah. Like I remember Tekken 6, when you play the stupid little Tekken Force minigame or whatever, there's signs with, like, fucking Church's Chicken logo on there. Mm-hmm. And it's
I remember,
why the fuck is this here?
Someone tried to bring up to me the fact that Yakuza uses real brands. Here's the thing, folks. They don't advertise it, though. Yeah. You go to the bar and you can buy an actual Jack Daniels bottle. But they don't have Jack Daniels all over the fucking Kamurocho, and you're not just fucking, there's not a scene where fucking, where Kiryu goes, Jack Daniels, and it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like all obvious. It's just they licensed it to have it seem realistic.
It's much more immersive.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than you playing as a Tekken character in a world where only Church's Chicken is a thing.
For sure. Have I seen, that, what is it, Shi or whatever, the Japanese beer? Have I seen that, when I'm playing the game and I'm using it to fucking get my stamina back up, and I'm just like, that sounds good right about now, and I should try beer. Yeah, that happens. But in that sense, whenever I saw Ham in Bust the Groove 1 eat a hamburger, I wanted one. Mm-hmm. Indistinct brand. But I still wanted one. So at that point, cravings are just cravings. But yeah, it didn't really do that. It wasn't banners with Church's Chicken. It wasn't an ad in the middle of the screen for The Boys. Shit like that. Not to slander The Boys. The Boys is a pretty good show. But I don't like what EA did there. So Epic Games continues to fail with their ploy in court. Several judges already have very explicitly pointed out that the only reason Apple has been retaliating is because Epic has clearly breached terms of contract. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you're baiting them. Because Epic Games just keeps going, they're fighting me, they're not paying me. And all the judges have to keep pointing out, because you stopped listening, you were breaking their terms of service.
Yeah.
You're not paying them to be on their service. No, but they're the bad guys, though. So anyways, no judges are falling for it. The media it's not like, again, when Blizzard apologized, and then when Alan Brack for Blizzard apologized, and everyone, like, half the internet got over it, and no one cared about Hong Kong anymore. This is one of those things where nobody's falling for it. Even the most naive of video games is just like, anyone who slightly follows video game journalism is like, fuck off. You brought this upon yourself.
Right.
So the good thing is no one's falling for it. Lab Zero, the last few people who decided to try to stay employed have been laid off. So nobody works for Lab Zero except for Mike Z. He's the only employee and the sole owner of Lab Zero Games. He'll probably just liquidate it and try to get whatever money he can for the IP or for the name or some shit. It's sad though, because again, we talked about how ballsy it was that people were quitting during the current climate. Mm-hmm. Those who stayed or tried to stay, because they've obviously been laid off since, really needed that job.
And they got fucked over anyway.
Exactly. So they were willing to grit their teeth, work for Mike Z as much as it makes them want to blow their brains out, and still got laid off.
It's really crazy how someone is just doubling down on being a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he's going to say, I tried to make a deal, even though according to literally the rest of the staff, the deal was ridiculous.
Yeah, because I don't, at least of what I've seen on Twitter, I haven't seen anybody try to defend him anymore.
Absolutely not.
When the first thing happened,
there was some
when he made like the horrible joke
right.
during that stream, like Sonic Fox was out there, and even though he was like, yeah, I don't like that he did this, but he's been a friend.
Yeah.
I already told him this shit.
Yeah. We've talked. We've had sensitivity training.
Yeah, and then after that, even Sonic Fox is like, yeah, no, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
like, he's not who I thought he was.
And yeah, exactly. And then the whole thing came out with the company, the plans, trying to get Mike Z out because of his shittiness, and then him just wanting to be a piece of shit. And, yeah, so that's the state of it. Lab Zero is pretty much nothing anymore other than Mike Z. So Mike Z is Lab Zero is Mike Z. And we'll just see where it goes from there. Again, he's probably just going to try to liquidate the assets, sell whatever equipment they have.
Yeah.
He's going to try to sell that. He's going to sell the name to somebody. Lab Zero sounds cool. Someone will want to buy that, even though it kind of has a bit of a cloud above it.
Yeah.
But, so we'll see. But, man, he, like you said, double down. That's the way to go about it. He just never backed off, really. During every transgression, he just got worse.
Yeah.
And that's just, again, it's almost like he was trying to outdo Pitchford. It really is. Let's see. Oh, exciting announcement. Mario 3D All-Stars coming out on the 18th, which is really cool. Here's the weird thing, though. I don't know if you guys saw the Jim Sterling video, but it's funny. Limited time, though.
Yeah.
Now, of course, what that means is they're going to sell each of the games individually, probably, maybe. But think about it. What if they were to delist it? Let it go from like September 18th to Jan 1st. If you do not buy Super Mario 3D All-Stars, it's going to go away like that. What I think is they're going to split up the collection, then raise it $10 each. They're probably going to be like $30 each a game or $40 each a game. They're probably going to do some ridiculous thing like that. Where it's like the bundle's a limited time. It's just so crazy. Like, physical limited, that happens all the time.
Yeah, it's really weird. I remember I saw someone on Twitter say, like, it's funny how it's like Nintendo just doesn't want to make money.
They hate it. They fucking hate it.
But what's also going to suck is you're going to have those people that are going to buy the physical editions, and they're going to let it sit.
Yep.
And then guess what? Secondary market's going to get fucked.
Yep, like always.
Like those games are going to be expensive.
The NES Mini, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I am planning on getting it. Like I do want to get it.
That's a total instant buy.
Yeah.
That collection's amazing. I mean, Galaxy alone would already be worth it, but the fact that you still get 64 and Sunshine,
yeah,
fucking bonus, dude.
I know some people are kind of complaining about how 64 doesn't really look that upscale, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
what the fuck ever.
It's not. At least they didn't put remastered or whatever.
Yeah, they're not advertising it as such.
Exactly. If anything, it's just a fucking 3DS one thrown on there.
I am curious though, if it's gonna be like an exact port, like if a speedrunner were to play it, that they can
they can break it and everything. Yeah, I'm curious. That's what I haven't looked into that. Real quick, I saw this a lot on Reddit and it pissed me off. For all of you crying that Galaxy 2's not in the collection, they're probably gonna make another one because that's what video game companies do when they repackage shit. Okay, like. Yeah, there's no Galaxy 2, no shit. Yes, that's technically the better one. But, it makes sense for them to do a second collection.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to put everything in one.
Now, if only they could do something like that for, like, maybe the Metroid Prime games.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of neat. Or, just...
there's several ones they could for that. What about you, Mal? Are you hyped?
I am. I've been playing the Nintendo... on All-Stars on what was released on Nintendo Network.
Mm-hmm. Man, I played that a lot.
I really enjoy those games.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
It makes sense to do it as a bundle right now, but, for all those people who are upset about it, like, just think of how many more Mario games they're going to put into another bundle. Like, this isn't the first time we've seen it, so...
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited. I'm going to get it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'd like to get it hard copied.
Yeah, you guys need your hard copies.
The game disc.
That.
But, for right now, I'll stick with digital. Because that way I always have it.
Yeah, for sure. It should be fun. I am just curious for Nintendo to just go ahead and announce already what is the price. If they split it up, what is the pricing going to be after they split it up? Or if they're really going to delist it? Like, pull some Disney Vault shit and only sell it once every, 5 years or some shit like that so it just fucking flies. That'd be kind of scummy, because I hate how Disney did that with their fucking... Out of the vault, it's Aladdin!
Yeah.
Get it for a month or fuck off! And it's like, yeah, vault this. So that's one of those things where it's just like, shut the fuck up. But anyways, the one that had me excited as well, of course, was the announcement of a new Game & Watch. Obviously, it's been a while since the last Game & Watch came out.
Right.
Decades, even. But a full-color... beautiful, Game & Watch for Mario's anniversary. Now, here's my thing that I'm a little scared about, is even Nintendo. Nintendo didn't say the SNES Mini was going to be limited. They never said the NES Mini was going to be limited. They're saying, sure as fuck in that announcement, this is going to be fucking limited. Other than saying fucking, which they should have in the fucking announcement, limited as fuck. So... that thing's going to sell for thousands of dollars, you already fucking know. Because they're probably only going to make 100 of them. Because they're stupid. And they don't want to make money. But I'm definitely trying to get in line for that because I really, really want one. That thing looks so badass. Like, I had a Game & Watch ages ago. I don't fucking know what it is. It probably got lost at a garage sale or thrown out or whatever. But Game & Watches were cool, man. That was like the fucking OG Game Boy. That was better than a Tiger game. But obviously kind of shittier than a because it was an actual game. It wasn't just 5 fixed graphics like that. It was actual games. So, yeah. What I noticed when I was looking at the 3D All-Stars eShop page is it says, at the bottom there's a disclaimer with asterisk that says, if you are playing on a Switch Lite, you need to get Joy-Cons. So to clarify what that means, there's a co-op mode. If you do that, you would need to get Joy-Cons. You don't have to play the collection because they have touchscreen controls, etc., etc. But if you are going to play the co-op modes with a friend, you will need Joy-Cons or a Pro Controller to do that. It's just weird. I just don't like the way they phrase it. They're just straight up. If you're using a Switch Lite, you will need to get Joy-Cons. That's why I had to do some research. I was like, will you need to? You're forcing people to buy your $80?
Yeah. Let
me remind everybody, because I've already griped about this 1,000 times. It's the most expensive. Nintendo Switch has the most expensive controllers on the market right now. PlayStation 4 controllers, $64.99 average retail. Xbox One controllers, $64.99 average retail. Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons, $79.99 average retail, $89.99 plus for limited edition. Retail. That's not some asshole on eBay. That's Best Buy or whoever's selling those. Fucking insane. Just they're not even that much controller.
Dorito.
Yeah, exactly. Witcher 3 doing next-gen ports. Free upgrades for all those who own it already. So good on them. That's how it should be. You know what? It's time for an interlude. Josh and Mallory, take it away. I'm going to get my little cane and dance out of here.
Oh, no. I don't know how to take it away. That's tough.
I don't know either. Have you been playing any fighting games?
No. Ideals. No, not recently. Usually because fighting games do kind of tend to stress me out, and I kind of don't need stress right now, so I haven't really been doing any fighting games. It's really just been like whatever. Sometimes actually I haven't even hung out with my friends online while they're streaming. So not even that, but I don't know, like the last few things I played on PS4 was like Code Vein, but I haven't played that in a while. I am currently well, you missed it during the beginning, but I am currently going through Deadly Premonition 2, but that's kind of difficult in keeping my attention right now. But after that, I might, because I need to go back and finish Final Fantasy VII. I also need to finish Nier as well. Hopefully I can finish those two. After that, I think I might pick up Sekiro and try to finish that, because sadly I lost my progress when I bought my PS4. When I got a new PS4, because the hard drive just got shot on the older one. So, yeah. So those are my plans, but I don't know if I'm going to stick with them. And he's back.
Have you tried Fall Guys yet?
No. I downloaded it and installed it on PS4, but I haven't played it yet.
Which means we need to sometime.
It is frustrating.
Some of the games are pretty, It depends on where you excel on a skill level, like your coordination or whatever. If you have bad coordination, that game's fucked. But it'll definitely show who maybe used to be better in gym than the other person in terms of timing and everything. Sony has mentioned. Sony and Atlas, they're kind of in the same boat sometimes when it comes to lending out their IPs through ports or whatever.
Yeah.
Sony has mentioned that due to the success of their games, the few games they have ported, they are interested in bringing more games to PC. So we'll see if Bloodborne ends up on there. We'll see. Xbox, we've obviously praised Xbox in the past for being smart and just doing that, because that's just extra money. Well, it's just another version, more accessibility, more people are going to play your game.
The thing is like, people would even double dip on Bloodborne for PC.
Exactly.
Because they want to see that higher frame rate.
Now, of course, if it launched on PC as well, would people just rather got the PC version? Of course. That's why you do it this way. Mm-hmm. Make it a PlayStation exclusive for a few years, and then fucking just give it to PC. Who cares?
Yeah. They would make a bunch of money because
because of the double dippers.
You got the PC players who
want
just want it, And then you got the PS4 players who happen to have a PC who will get it.
Again, exactly.
Yeah, yep. It's free real estate.
Exactly. There's been a screenshot floating around that made me laugh, saying that Pringles has confirmed the Xbox Series X's price is going to be $6.99. I'm just like, what the fuck? Why does Pringles have the inside scoop on the fucking price? That's fucking weird.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Is there like an exclusive partnership?
I know. I was going to say, what is happening, Larry? That's really weird.
Pre-order your Xbox Series X and you get a free can of Pringles.
Yeah. Pat and Wooly were talking about the recent Ubisoft controversy with the Black Lives Matter fist, and they made a few interesting points. They weren't really sympathizing or defending Ubisoft per se. Mm-hmm. They just wanted to make a few points that the team that made that game is out of France proper. They may not watch American news and know what the fuck that is, etc., etc. However, as a company, a video game company, and the publishing branch that maybe is from, that does work out of the States, someone should have caught that along the way, however.
Yeah.
It was probably not intentional. They did kind of because I remember that was my hot take on the fucking last thing, is that, it was someone not giving a fuck. So they made a very interesting point where it's it was probably not intentional due to the cultural difference and France probably not watching American news. However, there should have been caught along the way. It still should not have ever reached the actual game. So there is that, which I find interesting.
Yeah. Actually, that, and then also what's going on with their, the abusers over there. I'm really, really close to just kind of being like, fuck Ubisoft. And
no kidding.
Not buying
Dragon Age 4 is not going to be worth it anyways, because it's going to be a microtransaction fee. Oh. Well, Dragon Age 4 probably not going to be worth it anyways because it's full of microtransaction nonsense. Point still stands depending on who makes it because it's still going to be trash because BioWare sucks. But, yeah. That's true. Ubisoft doesn't even have any good games. What is a good Ubisoft game? Assassin's Creed sucks, so don't go there. Splinter Cell hasn't had a game in 10 years, so don't go there. I mean, Rainbow Six hasn't been good in 2 games, so don't go there.
Like, I know Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia were like the 2 franchises that I kind of gave a shit about.
Mm-hmm. And they hate Prince of Persia, so they already said they're never bringing that back.
Yep.
So yeah. Ubisoft did provide a bit of interesting, important news, though, is that based on the licensing that Sony is going through with them, it shows that they have no intention of doing backwards compatibility past the PS4. So everyone's dreams of PS3, PS2, and PS1 backwards compatibility because the Xbox Series X is going to be Series X, One, 360, and then original Xbox, etc., etc. It's going to go all the way back still, like they did this generation. Mm-hmm. Xbox will continue doing all support of all generations. PlayStation is only going to do the last one. So, a bit shit. Because PlayStation's problem is that their biggest Achilles heel is just kind of reading the room in terms of delivering exactly what people want. For example, with wallpapers and all that bullshit, that's things people wanted since launch, but Xbox did it right away, whereas fucking PlayStation waited over a year or 2 before they were just like, oh yeah, you guys can do that thing we promised at launch. The thing where there's a snippet of the guy promising it at launch. Yeah, fuck that. It's not launch.
Yeah, Sony and Nintendo are the worst at reading the room.
Yeah, they really are. And that's the thing. It's funny that Xbox gets shit on, but in the end, when it comes to some of these decisions in terms of, example, the reaction to Always Online, they immediately nixed that idea. Mm-hmm. As soon as they said it, essentially, they already said, never mind. But yeah. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. At time of recording, it'll drop tomorrow. It'll already be out by the time you guys hear this. So there you go. One of the most underrated games that came out on 360 and it's also on PC is getting a remaster. So much deserved. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. If you are wanting to itch that action-adventure game, there you go. Left 4 Dead 2 has recently either gotten or is getting, I forgot to look at the date, a new update. After fucking, how many years? Left 4 Dead 2 is so old.
Decades?
Yeah. There you got a brand new content update. Not even just a patch, not some balance bullshit that they were just like, oh yeah, the zombie's always been screwed up. No, it's a full-on new content update. So if you're a big Left 4 Dead 2 fan and you've been looking forward to more content, if you even thought that was going to happen, here it is. So Left 4 Dead 2 lasted a ton of people. You'd be surprised how many people still play Valve's games. If you look at CSGO, Team Fortress, and you look at Left 4 Dead 2 and 1, and you look at how many players are playing right now thing on Steam, it's insane. There are millions of people playing it every day. So, yeah. Steam. That's the thing. Valve's hilarious like that. Every franchise they have made is beloved and held on this high pedestal, and again, people have been playing it for decades and don't care and don't get tired of it. But they just don't make new games. And then when they do, it's like Half-Life Alyx, who gives a shit about that. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Cyberpunk 2077 recently put out their PC requirements. It's, of course, pretty high-end. If you're going to run it on PC, I hope you just built your PC and it's up to spec to now because you're not going to run Cyberpunk remotely to where you should. Let me put it this way. If you're using a computer older than this year and you're going to play Cyberpunk, it'll look just as good as PS4. If you want to run it to where it's going to make PS4 look like trash, you're going to have to fucking have a new computer because it's fucking high-end specs. They also did say not to worry because there's a big rumor that the game is going to be some ridiculous 200 gigabyte size, but they already have said that it's not going to be that big. Maybe 100 because Red Dead Redemption 2 is 100, so
it's free up some space on my PS4.
Yep. God, my 5 terabytes is the most God-given gift because I just haven't had. It's so amazing not having to delete stuff. So when I originally had that thing with the shitty 500 fucking gigs, just deleting shit constantly.
Yeah.
And now I've had 5 terabytes. I haven't deleted games in years. I'm eventually gonna have to, I'm sure, but not yet. Very interesting news. This is the thing that's got me interested anyways, is Sega is actually announced, or has expressed interest that they are going to do it, so they're just wondering when the ideal time would be. I would say now, because the franchise is hot, when they're going to release Yakuza Ishin here in the West. Now, for those who don't know what Yakuza Ishin is, it's a game that came out in 2014. It came out during the transition period between PS3 and PS4. Only in Japan, though. And it's a Yakuza game that takes place in the 1800s. The main character is obviously Kiryu, but they call him something else. But it's obviously Kiryu, and it looks amazing because you're basically Kiryu with a katana, and you're an actual samurai. So very, very interesting game. Would it be appropriate to call it Yakuza still? That's where it kind of falls apart. It's why Like a Dragon works a little bit more, or Ryugo, whatever the fuck, in Japan makes a little more sense, because now they can do spin-off games like this where it still makes sense. There aren't going to be any Yakuza in Ishin, so they also could... I don't know, but you don't want to lose that branding. That's the problem. See, in Japan, everything's Like a Dragon, whatever. Like a Dragon, whatever. Here, if you do make it Yakuza Ishin, it doesn't make any sense, but you don't want to release a game just called Ishin, because then everyone will be like, what the fuck is that, if you didn't keep track of it. So... it'll lose that Yakuza clout. So, I don't know. We'll see. But it looks great. It looks really good. And I looked at like the combat system and everything, and I was just like, what the fuck haven't I heard of this? It's amazing. So, hopefully they'll decide soon. But now would be the best time. I mean, you can actually own all the Yakuza games on PS4, which is a dream of Yakuza fans that we just never thought would happen. We were always like, oh, I'm going to have to play this shit on PS3, and I have to play this shit on PS2, and I got to play this shit on PS4. Nope! Play them all! All the current games are now on PS4, so you can do that. Hopefully this one will join that case. Speaking of which, when Like a Dragon comes out in November, are you picking it up at launch, or probably not?
I'm not sure about launch.
Okay. Just curious.
We'll see. I still need to go back and finish Kiwami. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, true. True.
More games I need to finish.
So many.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 4 recently got a balance patch that fixed 150, made, it didn't have that many errors, but they did have 150 changes, so you could check out the very elaborate change log or update log for that bullshit. Doom 1 and 2 on Switch has gotten gyro controls, so if you're like the motion, I don't like that, honestly. I always turn that shit off on literally every Switch game I play. I'm like, it's like, want to do this? And I'm like, fuck no, I don't. I don't want to use the D-pad. But yeah, got that and widescreen support on Switch. Ys Origin, is that how you say that? YS? Yeah, Ys Origin, I guess, is going to be on the Nintendo eShop on October 1st. Into the Breach, amazing, very difficult, but amazing mech strategy game, is free on the Epic Games Store. Look, I don't like Epic Games either, but other free games, I have a bunch of free games on there that are badass, that I never play because they're not Epic Games, but still, I get them because they're free, and you shouldn't give up free. What else? Oh, Cyberpunk 2077 news that I didn't actually put next to the other one. I didn't like this one, so that first news I'm just like, oh good, it's gonna be fucked for PC people, whatever. But the thing I don't like is when asked about microtransaction, because they are gonna have a multiplayer mode, their response was, we won't be aggressive. The answer should be fuck microtransactions, but of course, no. I don't like that answer, because in the world we live in, where murder, rape, suicides is the constant metric for microtransactions, being any less aggressive than that is not really a high bar. They can be shitty as hell, and as long as it's better than Mass Effect 3's, microtransactions in their multiplayer, it doesn't matter anymore. It's not as aggressive, so I don't like that answer. The answer should have been, we're not going to have them, but we'll see. The next entry in the Dark Pictures anthology, first one being Man of Medan, Little Hope, is going to be on PS4, Xbox One, and PC this October. Appropriate timing, so time to check that out. Microsoft.
Shit. I still need to get Man of Medan.
Oh yeah, Man of Medan's so great.
Yeah, I want to play it.
Minecraft is getting PSVR support later this month, and it's free. They're not going to pull the Skyrim thing and resell the whole fucking game again with VR. So good for them. Horizon Zero Dawn. PC patch improves performance up to 10%. What does that mean, considering the game is absolutely broken for some people? It'll run 10% more than Crash again, probably, but we'll see. Horizon Zero Dawn, awful PC port, unfortunately. Fall Guys devs announced that they will use Fortnite's anti-cheat tools in the future, which is good, because they're starting to have a lot of people in that game, and of course people are starting to fuck that game a bit, and that'll just happen with a very big, popular game. Proving that football fans are morons, despite low review scores, terrible review scores, Madden 21 is selling like goddamn hotcakes, as if it's a good game, because, Joe Schmo play my dumbass football game fucking doesn't care what the score is, even if it's a 10 on Metacritic, because they're stupid. So, there's that. Animal Crossing Oh, sorry guys, I'm plunging through this because I expected the episode to be about an hour and I just realized how fucking over we are, so that's the only reason I'm kind of like steamrolling through this. If you guys have any thoughts on any of this stuff, speak up, but other than that, forever hold your peace. Animal Crossing has been doing limited time items. Obviously I've missed out on a few of them, but the current one is a grape harvest basket. You can even wear it even. It's a wearable item basket. So there's that. Looks cute. I actually thought about firing up the game just so I can buy that, then uninstalling it again. Costs 800 bells and will be available until September 30th. And then finally, for those of you who love Tony Hawk, guess what? The remasters are amazing. Unlike Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD, which sucked so much ass I wanted to die, this one's great. It actually looks way better and plays just as good. They did such a great job of balancing everything. Yeah, music's missing. Oh, fucking, you're missing, bring the noise or whatever. Oh well, licensing. It happens. They added like 100 songs more, so fuck off. They tried. And then finally, one interesting but cool tweak. For those of you who enjoyed playing as Officer Dick back in the day, unlockable character alongside Carmen Carrera, this time he's been given a bit of a twist. He still has a similar look. He's still a fat, out-of-shape cop, but this time with the likeness and voice of Jack Black. The person that people kept joking should play Officer Dick if he was ever in a movie or something like that. Now it's actually become reality because Jack Black is big-time friends with Tony Hawk. So, there you go. You can play as Officer Dick, and this time he's Jack Black. So, check that out. It's a bit hard to do, though. The goals are apparently really fucked. Apparently to unlock... Because before you would just do a cheat to get Carmen Carrera and Officer Dick before. Now you would have to complete every created skater challenge. There's apparently like 24. And if there's anything hard like any of the challenges in some of the older games, it's probably going to be really hard to do all of them. So, that would be what you have to do, though, if you want to do that. So, alrighty. Other than that, we will catch you guys every Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And until then, we will catch you guys later. Until then, see ya.
Bye.